I couldn't find a perfect Pomodoro app, so I decided to create my own. Hi, my name is Chris, and in today's video I will briefly explain what is a Pomodoro technique, what do I consider perfect in such a simple application, and also why nothing that currently exists fulfills my requirements. This absence is also a reason why I'm going to create it myself. But first, the term Pomodoro technique was coined by Francesco Cirillo, and it is a system that helps you get the work done. You break your task into smaller parts that you can finish in a certain amount of time, traditionally 25 minutes. You set a timer, turn off any distractions, and you work. When the timer rings, you take a break. Complete this cycle 3 more times for a total of 4, and you've earned yourself a longer break. That's about it. Over the years, multiple variations of this method have surfaced, many of which suggested longer work periods that were supposed to be more naturally in line with human biology and our concentration cycles. One of the most popular ones is 52-17, which, like you might have guessed, says your work should be divided in cycles of 52 minutes broken up by 17-minute rest periods. Other ones preach about focusing for 90 minutes followed up by 15-minute breaks. Sometimes they suggest shortening amount of cycles before you take a longer break. Another time they bail on long breaks altogether. Why is it important? Well, what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for somebody else. That's why a good app is crucial. You could use a simple timer, but it won't track how many focus cycles you already performed nor automatically switch between them. It won't aesthetically please you every single time you take a look at it, and neither give you a multitude of statistics, customization options, and it certainly won't sync between all of your devices. So how do the perfect app look like? First of all, it has to be simple. I don't want an app that, besides being a focus timer, doubles up as a to-do list, planner, calendar, and a meditation app. Simplicity. No unnecessary buttons, pop-ups, or multiple tabs clogging up the screen to achieve a simple objective: being a better timer. Experience should be seamless and enjoyable. No instructions necessary. Like I mentioned in the earlier point, we are already dealing with something quite simple, so there's no excuse for not making it appealing. Every single time I take a look at the timer, I want to feel good about it. I want it to look stunning. I want to hear a satisfying ding that indicates I'm done with my session. There's really no downside to it. Some people might not care for it, but app looking good certainly won't spoil their experience. And those who value a carefully designed main screen are going to be over the moon. So I said that the app should be simple. What I didn't mean is for it to be completely bare. After all, there's already a timer in whatever operating system you're using. In my opinion, the perfect focus timer has some kind of statistics that let the user track how much work did he do over the last few days. Knowing when does he usually work and how much time did he already put into a certain task will be very valuable for someone who decided to pick an app like that. Maybe such a person struggles with procrastination or focus. Knowing that you are making progress can be really encouraging and help alleviate some of the issues. Depending on the type of work I'm currently doing, I might want to use different devices. Maybe I'm sketching some graphs on the iPad or coding something for a client on a laptop. Sometimes I'm on my phone when I hold a job interview and I need to keep track of how long it takes. When you use more than one tool, you don't really want to install different apps on every one of them. That's why I want my favorite to be available everywhere. Even when it comes to such a simple app, there's still plenty of data to be gathered by third parties. Your email, projects, current occupation, and times you prefer to work at are all tasty snacks for advertisement sharks. If you are using apps that make your life easier, there's already a lot of companies you have to trust to not sell your information, and to be frank, the less the better. Putting a strong focus on following the latest practices to secure users' data and using only things that are necessary to provide the best experience is not an option, it's a must. I also want the app to be configurable and customizable. Like I mentioned when I was explaining what Pomodoro technique is all about, 25 minutes of work for 5 minutes of rest is not end-all be-all. Every person is different, so at the heart of our app, configurability must exist. Work time, break time, number of cycles between long breaks, changing colors and dark mode, all of those must be there and must be changeable. If it's not too much work, let your user even change an icon. Don't limit their choices unless it's absolutely essential or there are better things to spend development time on. It's vital though to design features with configurability in mind. Thanks to this, it's way easier to implement them later. While we are on limiting user choices, the perfect app has to be versatile. A true Pomodoro purist would tell you that it's a blasphemy to pause your session or to skip a break even if you're in the flow. Well, not everyone is a purist, so there is no need to limit potential user base by enforcing unnecessary rules. Someone wants to pause their focus timer because their kid is crying and making them unable to be focused in the first place? Let them. Someone needs a few more minutes before going into another work cycle. Give them an option. Someone wants to change what is he working on mid-session. Why not? And last but not least, an app must have a good notification system. While I'm not a notification person myself, I truly see a value in reminding and informing user with a gentle vibration in their pocket about their ongoing procrastination session. I don't deem this feature essential, but many people do, so it's important to have it in. Above list is by no means exhaustive, and yet no app on the market fulfills my requirements. None of them combine those features into a seamless experience. Many excel at one or two things, but are riddled with other issues like privacy, complexity, half-baked design, or lack of support for other devices. And yet still, there are many things that might add value to the type of app we want. Siri integration, background music, or white noise are all good features that would make it better, but the scope creep is a real issue in software development and might be a reason why there is nothing like it out there. A lot of work for not a lot of return on investment, because let's not kid ourselves. Even for a perfect Pomodoro app, we wouldn't splurge $5 a month, and why would we pay a subscription for a glorified timer? Fortunately, there are no drill sergeants and people in top hats forcing us to a specific deadline or even to make money on it, so we are free to take our time. I'm a software engineer by trade, so I decided to take on the challenge of creating such an app myself. I want to document the journey of a solo programmer designing, implementing, testing and publishing an app without any previous experience. I might be a software engineer, but I've never written a commercial-ready mobile application entirely from scratch on a platform I'm not familiar with, in a language I've never used. Yeah, I'm a half Linux, half Windows Java developer. I do business-related backend work which typical user never really sees, and yet here I am, wanting to create an app. I invite you to take this journey through the unknown with me. I will document my highs and lows, and I'm sure to experience many struggles and hardships of learning a language and creating a good app from scratch. To put a cherry on top, I'll be doing all of this while juggling full-time job, relationship, hobbies, free time with friends, and this new endeavor of mine, YouTube channel. If you don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed it. And hey, it's my first video. Any feedback would be appreciated. Cheers.